Okay, welcome everybody to the Carmel Clay Public Library Board of Trustees meeting, June 22nd, 2026. I call this meeting to order, and we do have an agenda in front of us. We get a
Raj,
motion.
could I ask, perhaps we'll need to approve Shell's uniform conflict of interest
Okay,
disclosure statement. So I would recommend we amend the agenda to
Okay.
show that we received we received the statement and we took action on it.
okay. We'll get a
Move.
motion for the amended agenda.
So moved.
Get a first, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ann, for that.
So I need to put on the record, I can't vote on my own conflict of interest.
That's correct.
Yeah, so on the record, cannot vote on my own conflict of interest. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. We do have a consent agenda in front of us, which includes last month's Board of Trustee meeting minutes and the claims and warrants from last month's financial report, including last month's bills.
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a first from Ann,
Second.
second from John. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Consent agenda passes. No items were removed from the consent agenda. We do have Bob's director's report, the next agenda item. Bob, do you want to add anything to the director's report?
I don't think I have anything to add.
Were there any questions about Bob's director's report or anything you guys want to talk about? Can we get a motion to receive Bob's director's report? We have from Stephanie,
Second.
second from Casey. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Trustee liaison reports.
Maybe this would be a good opportunity to introduce our new foundation director.
Okay.
And she is in the room with us, Jamie Medley. Jamie, would you like to come to the table and just introduce yourself for a few minutes?
Welcome, Jamie.
Jamie.
How are you? I'm Jamie Medley, new foundation director. Super excited to be here and looking forward to working with everyone. I don't have a lot to report yet, as this is my second Monday on the job, but again, looking forward to supporting you all in any way that we can. One thing of note is that Gilded Leaf is coming up, and tickets will open up to the public on the 15th when we announce our new authors. So if you're interested in coming and being a part of pre-sale, let me know. I'm happy to help facilitate that. And if anybody has questions, happy to answer those as well.
Can you give us your background maybe?
Sure. Sorry to not mention that. I absolutely love nonprofit work. I've been involved with nonprofit organizations my entire adult life, both as a volunteer, staff member. Most recently, I've spent the last nearly 5 years with the American Red Cross. So major gifts officer, also the liaison for our women's affinity group, Tiffany Circle. So served regionally. My territory or portfolio, if you will, was essentially the state of Indiana. I was our individual donor philanthropy officer. And then also worked on a national level with Tiffany Circle as a divisional staff liaison to support additional people just like myself in other states throughout our division. So loved every minute of it. But really excited to be here in my own backyard. I live about 2 right turns away from here. So it's just great to be staying in Carmel.
You must know Ginger Merkel.
I do know Ginger Merkel. She's one of my favorite humans ever.
And it could be that Stephanie and Ann here could be some historical resources for you. They are former members of the foundation board, and I believe the 2 of them were involved in hiring Liz.
Oh, great. I would love to chat. Background. I would love a good backstory. And that's actually one way I worked with Ginger very, very closely. Basically, I'd be like, Ginger, I need the whole story. Fill me in on the historical relevance of X, Y, and Z. So, yep, I would love to connect and learn more.
Good to have you.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, well.
Okay, moving on the agenda, we have staff reports. And we have Jamie Beckman from Teen Services.
Hi, I'm the other Jamie at the library. It's nice to meet all of you. I do have a few items for show and tell while I get my laptop set up. I'm not sure how we're gonna do that. We'll figure it out.
email it to Brian.
Okay, alrighty, while I'm emailing this to Brian, I do want to give everyone a heads up. The teen department is going to be having a special art exhibit in our teen department. Our homeschool art club created book nooks. They are things for our shelves that are inspired by books. And this, don't tell anyone, but this one is our favorite one. We have about 13. This one is inspired by Lord of the Rings, so I was going to pass that around so everyone can see it. And then if you want to see the rest of them, which are all almost as good, you can stop by the teen department anytime in July.
So sorry, where are they?
They're going to be on the shelves in the teen department where the books are. They're really like a lot of people do them for their home libraries to kind of decorate their libraries. But ours is going to be a temporary exhibit for the month of July. So they will be just on the top shelves. So none of the smaller kids can grab them. But you'll be able to walk around and it'll be like our own little art walk.
And who made these?
They are our teen homeschool art club.
Homeschool.
Art club, yes.
Homeschool Club, and I think Mike Cherry worked with
Yes,
our teen
yeah.
librarian, and Mike is the librarian that coordinates with the teen artists in the art studio space, and he's very good at coming up with art and craft related programming. So this was his idea, and those kids worked pretty hard at it.
Great.
And while you're getting ready, Jamie, I'll just talk a little bit more, but at some point in the future, I'd like to have Mike Cherry come talk to the board and just give you a presentation just on the art studio space and the artists we've hosted. And I think we've been doing this enough time now that we can look at some historical data and see how the room's been used and see some great examples of art. And it really blows me away the quality of work that we see from these kids. And a lot of these kids are just, some of them are putting in, a lot of hours, like 30 or 40 hours a week into the work they're doing. They're very passionate about it. But so we'll do that at some point in the future.
About to keep that.
Yeah, I think I'd like to say that.
Also, while we're waiting, and we all know there was a town hall here at the library, and it was on the stormwater flooding issues, and a number of issues were discussed. I had to field one question with somebody complaining about the parking situation and how many kids park here, and I explained all of the things that we do and that we have officers here in the morning, in the afternoon, and a lot of times in multiple places. It's still not a guarantee we get everyone, but we always make sure that people have enough parking at the library. And I had to explain to the whole crowd that we actively tow. We warn the kids, and if they ignore our warnings, they get towed, and it does happen. And the towing, when it does happen, and I talk to the kids, I tell them, be sure to go tell all your friends that we towed you because you shouldn't park here.
You have any idea how many cars we've towed?
Not a lot, but it's a handful every semester, isn't it?
Yeah, what's last semester we had between 7 and 10 last. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
If that, the last semester was good for the tow company.
But I mean, I can think of cases where we'll say, if you park here and go to school, you'll get towed, and the response is, no, I don't care. So, okay.
Oh,
It's in junior class.
But there is still a perception that we're not doing anything when we're doing a lot. I feel like we're doing everything we can think of to do with the environment that we have. So, but people will say, well, no, because I saw a teen, get in this car after school. So, well, you might have got biased, but, we're out there on it every day. And by and large, again, I think we're successful in that people that want to visit the library are able to park and come in.
Maybe you ought to do a letter to the editor, to the Current and Carmel.
Not a bad idea.
yeah.
Maybe.
Ready?
Okay. So hi, my name is Jamie Beckman, and I am the manager of the Teen Services Department. And I am so glad to get a chance to chat with the library's board about the teen department and to thank you all for your support of the department and the library in general. The teen department has actually been having a great summer, but that isn't what I came to talk about. What I really want to talk about is the impact the teen department is having on the teens in our community, and I wanted to talk about that impact in their own words. The first example I have is the impact the library's Teen Volunteer Corps is having on the teens who volunteer at the library. One great example is a volunteer named Darini, whose volunteering at the library led her to become a Points of Light honoree this year. Points of Light is an international nonprofit, nonpartisan organization headquartered in Georgia, dedicated to engaging more people and resources in solving serious social problems through voluntary service. Each year, a Point of Light mobilizes millions of people through affiliates in approximately 250 cities and partnerships with thousands of nonprofits and companies. It was created in 1990 by George H.W. Bush during his presidency. Darini was featured on the Points of Light website. You can see where it says, "A volunteer goes beyond the stacks in her local library." My favorite part, and she was interviewed, and my favorite part of her interview was when she said, "When I was in middle school, they told me at school that there was an opportunity for volunteering at the library. I really love reading and writing, and the library is one of the places I used to go a lot. I decided to start there, and I ended up loving it. I'm still doing it, and I hope to keep doing it for a long time. So I'd recommend you start volunteering in middle school, because the more you get used to the environment you care about, the more you understand that this can be really impactful and really helpful." It was so great to hear that the teen department helped Darini discover the impact she can make on the world around her. And if you want to read the rest of her interview, it's very charming. She was featured on, I believe, February 24th of this year. Our Teen Library Council also has a big impact on the teens who join. Another great example of this is a guest essay written by a TLC member for the Carmel Highlight, which is, I'm sure all you know, your source for Carmel High School news. In her essay, Ava wrote, "It felt so empowering to see my voice and my opinions presented in a safe space. As of March, I've accumulated 97 hours of volunteer work for the TLC, and I hope by the end of 2026, my goal is to pass 100. Not simply for the hours alone, but just because I know that I will put my voice out enough to find fulfillment in my community, which is ultimately what TLC is about." It was so heartening to learn that TLC and the teen department has helped Ava become more connected to her community. Another library program that we were just talking about that can have a big impact on the teens that participate is our Teen Artists in Residence program. Teens have created some truly special pieces of art while participating in this program. A great example is Lainey, who created her own picture book, which I have brought, and I have another item to share. So I will pass this along. Lainey did both the art and the words. She truly created her own picture book. So I'll let everyone see that.
Beautiful.
This book can now be found in our local author collection. In her interview for the Highlight, Lainey spoke about her time as a teen artist in residence and what she learned. She says, "One of the main lessons I've taken away is time management and the willingness to really sit down and work on something, even when you're tired and you don't feel like doing it. It's about recognizing that you need to do it and just committing to it. Another lesson is that there are more opportunities in the world than I initially realized. If you go out, apply to things, and show up, you can access a lot of opportunities much more easily than you might think." I'm so glad the teen department is able to broaden horizons and create new possibilities for the future for Lainey and teens just like her. One of the teen department programs that I'm most proud of is our student-led programming. It offers local teens the chance to design and present their own programs, which not only helps them develop all kinds of leadership and organizational skills, more importantly, it lets them directly see the impact their efforts are having on their community. Two of the students who have presented several different math programs in the library were featured in the Current and Carmel article. Allison and Jennifer created their own nonprofit, Infinity Squared, whose goal is to empower young minds to problem solve and discover the beauty of mathematics with real-world applications today to become the mathematical leaders of tomorrow. You can read more about their work in their Current and Carmel article. We collect feedback from all the teens who present their own student-led program. This is some of the feedback about the teen department and the library in general that Allison and Jennifer gave. "The library is just a great place to try new things. For example, our earliest memories were signing up for events at the library, and it really helped us to find and discover various interests. And we hoped Infinity Squared would inspire students as well, this time in math. We had such a blast for those 4 weeks, and we hope to be able to partner with the library again sometime soon. Thanks so much. I'm so glad that Allison and Jennifer felt like the library is a place to try new things and that they wanted to be part of that. We also asked two of our most recent Foundation Friends Scholarship winners to reflect on what the library means to them. Our 2 winners this year were Kaho and Allison. And Kaho said, the library acted as a foothold towards connecting with my community, from volunteering and leading monthly discussions with my peers at the Teen Library Council to teaching origami and Japanese culture to people of all ages. CCPL gave me the opportunities and space to expand my horizons and give back to the community I cherish. Our other winner, Allison, said, the Carmel Clay Public Library shelves my family and of unexpected books, friends, and opportunities. It's hard to imagine my high school journey without hosting early morning Meet the Math events and leading after-school Teen Library Council meetings. Even ordinary memories like booking study rooms, hanging out in the teen section, and messing around with a 3D printer are precious, and I hope to cherish them forever. And finally, another great way to check out how the library impacts our teens is to look at the artwork, poetry, and prose that teens have submitted to our Teen Library Zine. It really makes for some fun reading, and I'll show that really quickly as well. Can we do that?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah, click right there. So this is our Teen Library Zine. You can put the little arrow.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I will leave that to you to discover on your own. You can find it on our website. And finally, I just wanted to say thank you all again for your support of the teen department so we can support the teens of Carmel. We very much appreciate it.
Can you explain this again?
Sure.
Like how this came about?
So we have our Teen Artist in Residence program. And to become a Teen Artist in Residence, you have to fill out an application. And on the application, we ask, what kind of art projects are you interested in? What is some dream project you've always wanted to work on but never had the chance or the materials? And when Lainey filled out her application, she said she wanted to do a picture book. Lainey came in and she worked on the pictures and she worked on the text. And
She
eventually,
used like library resources
Yes.
to create the illustrations.
yes, and the text. And then the library helped her find a way to bind it and put it in the collection. It was all part of a larger project. And Lainey was thrilled. And as part of that, Lainey got a chance to work on her dream art project. But we also require all our teen artists in residence to basically plan a program to help spread the knowledge that they've gained. So she got a chance to work on a project for herself, but she also got a chance to give back to the community.
And that's a component of every artist that gets a
Teen
studio
artist,
space.
yes.
Every teen artist, there's a culminating public event at the end of their semester in the
They don't
studio.
get compensated for it. They just get this.
Yes, they
Okay.
get a chance, like I said, to explore art to some project that they have dreamed about doing, but just hadn't had the opportunity.
We do have it up here.
Oh yeah, there's the zine. You can see some of the art. We get a lot of poetry to the zine too, so if you're a poetry fan. Cool. Someone did the gecko. The gecko is always a favorite. And I think that one is my favorite art project, or favorite one. So we have lots of zines, but this one was the one dedicated to what the library and why the teens think it's important. Alrighty, does anyone else have any questions? If not, I will take myself back and let you guys get back to your meeting.
Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So Jamie, do you have a lot of the teens still coming in over the summer? Or is it down because they're working or?
It's a different group. During the school year, we get, of course, large crowds of kids after school from the high school. During the summer, we get more middle schoolers. Just during the day, we try to offer programs and we try to focus more on them. So it is definitely a different crowd, but it's a group we're glad to see. And also, we have a lot of teens who start volunteering in the summer, and a lot of those are middle schoolers as well. But we do get some older ones as well too. So we see a lot of new faces in the summer, and I will say it's not as busy. It's like our after school time, but there's still plenty to keep us busy.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Nate.
Oh, you're welcome. It was, like I said, very nice to get a chance to chat with everyone.
They're incredible.
I read it to little baby mountains.
You can read it out loud to John.
I mean, John and little baby Mallard both know that.
Okay, what do we got next here? Team library, of course, renovation of them.
Yeah, I just have a couple of updates. I've heard good news after Train did some additional work on the HVAC. It looks like the indication is it's working properly and may be done, but I'm just waiting on a final report to see that, but I'm feeling pretty good about that. That might be a wrap. So then we're at the desk countertop issue, which we are going to meet there in a few days to discuss that, but it looks like the manufacturer has offered to replace the material at no cost to us. And we're working through our channels to have it installed at no cost through a warranty. So I think that's all looking good. We are considering a different color other than black, since everyone tells us black shows the most scratches and blemishes. It's going to consider that as an option. But we are making progress in getting it replaced.
Who is everyone that says that black shows the most?
The manufacturer, the company that installed it, Greg, the architect. I mean, most people associated with this say, well, black will show the most.
And so where were all these people when we originally selected it and it was being
Well,
installed that
I
this
thought
on it
that
never came up?
Greg, the architect, did tell us that, but I feel like that still would have been okay, but something is not normal about how this countertop is behaving.
Mhm.
It just
Well,
goes beyond that.
We've established that, I think, in prior meetings. So what colors are being considered that are consistent with the rest of the?
I think we need to kind of
selection.
say maybe. I'm interested in to see if they have maybe a dark gray to lighten it up a little bit, but kind of keep the same aesthetic. But I don't know. I'm waiting to see what's recommended and what gets pitched. But I think we're going to be able to take care of it. Yeah. And I've asked Phil to come back next month. Hopefully we might be ready for a final report.
All right. Thank you. The update. Old business. We have the standard development. Is an action item. You want to discuss that?
Well, I think Ann needs to put a caveat on
Yeah,
that for us.
what I think we'll be doing today. The short answer is we cannot take a final action on the proposal at this meeting. Statutorily, what we need to do, or the board needs to do, is accept Shao's disclaimer form and take action to accept it. And we have to do that prior to taking any final action on the proposal.
And it has to be filed before prior.
No, it'll be timeline. We will hopefully, where I'm asking that we, accept Shao's disclosure. Then at next board meeting, you can choose to take final action. Once the final action is completed and this board takes that, then within 15 days of that final action, we need to file that with the State Board of Accounts and then also with the Hamilton County Circuit Court. And I can assist with the Circuit Court. And also too, in reviewing the form, as far as getting the Carmel City Council's approval, that there's a section on, it's section 5 on the form. So I mean, if again, subject to the board's acceptance of the disclosure statement, I'm happy to take that back with me and then follow up. If you have a recommendation of who I should speak with at the council to get them to complete paragraph 5.
Did we vote earlier to accept
Wait.
his?
No, we added it
We
to
added
the
it, yeah.
agenda earlier. Couple of comments. One, we're doing a lot of hoop jumping and taking it for the Carmel City Council and filing it if we're going to go forward with this. They haven't gotten back to us yet. I'm happy if we think we need to go forward with this now to move to accept his uniform conflict of interest statement. He's let us know that he has a conflict of interest. Approval or not approval, I don't think we need to do anything on that project tonight, next month, or anytime soon in the future, frankly. Now, that may or may not be accurate, but I personally don't think that this needs to make the rounds right now if we're not taking any action.
Well, when you say make the rounds, you mean the uniform disclosure statement?
Yes, if we're not going to act on that project, then why do you need to take this to the council and file?
Because the statute requires it?
Not if we're not taking any action.
So, yeah, I have some comments from
Okay.
our firm's attorney. And it's very specific in that, as undersigned, I have no specific financial interest to be derived from any agreement between the Carmel Clay Public Library and this company. And right now, disclosure is being made proactively to avoid any appearance of conflict or any impropriety in the event that there is the undersigned's company, Hageman Capital, later contracts with the development company related to the project. And in that situation, I will recuse myself from any vote pertaining to an agreement between the Carmel Clay Public Library and the development company.
And just for my background clarification, and reading your email and clarify for me is you do have an interest in Hagerman, correct? A financial interest?
Hageman.
Hagerman, okay.
Yep.
So you don't have an ownership interest, for example?
I have an ownership interest in Hageman Capital, yes.
Okay.
And in a situation in which if there is business to be done between the development company and the library,
Okay.
the disclosure is saying that in that event, I will have a pecuniary interest in that our company does business with the development company. And hence, since I have a financial interest within my company, there will be directly or indirectly an interest with the outcome of this. So therefore, I am taking action to recuse myself early.
Understood. It's just even, my recommendation would still to go ahead and let's make the disclosure statement let's accept it and have it part of our record. Just because of the facts as you've described them.
And again, if somebody wants to accept it, that's fine, but I don't think it needs to go in front of the city council at this point in time. I don't think it needs to go to the city court. I don't think it needs to go downtown because it is exactly as he said, a proactive disclosure that he's made both orally, he's made by email, and I've said it.
Hey, why does it have to go to the next level, like the city?
Well, again, just going back to the statute is once the disclosure is accepted by the government unit, then once, and again, keep in mind, this doesn't get under the statute, this does not get filed tomorrow. I can hold it until, in fact, if this board does take a final action, and I would take the position, final action may be, yes, we want to go forward with this or sign a letter of intent. Or I would take the position, final action may also be, no, we're not going to move further on that. Then that is when you make the filings and those types of things. And I'm fine with holding on to that disclosure statement until, again, by statute, there's final action taken by the board. If, to Ann's point, maybe there's never final action taken, then there's no filing required.
And I think that Cal can hold on to it and we don't have to accept it yet until we're ready to go forward with action. And before we can take an action, yes or no, then we should accept the
Correct.
statement. And that's just my position. And
Well, we do an annual disclosure every year.
Correct.
How is this different from?
I think per the statute, this becomes different because we have a public servant who has a pecuniary interest in the transaction that exceeds $250. Again, to be clear, what the statute says is the filing of that disclosure statement does not occur until 15, or has to be done within 15 days of final action. So yeah, again, obviously before we can we have to have final action, but even before we take the final action, then as I read the statute, we would need to accept that disclosure statement. You as a board accept that disclosure statement.
So, just a little bit of context, like it is wholly within my intent that I will not be discussing or voting on this matter at hand whatsoever. And I think I want that to be reflected on the record that I have not discussed with any one of you individually. And I will not be discussing with any one of you individually. And that this really is an action in which it's purely we're trying to get ahead of the issue, whether that becomes an issue or not. So that disclosure is made. So I am happy to essentially submit the disclosure statement and knowing that I'm doing this only because it's a proactive measure. There has not been an appearance of a conflict by any means. And this has been disclosed via email. This has now been disclosed again in a public setting. This is now written in a statement. And so whether or not there is going to be a conflict is somewhat irrelevant. It's just that you are voting on an issue in which if you do vote one way, there could be a conflict. And so therefore I am disclosing.
And it may not be a vote.
That is accurate as well.
But just to clarify, I mean, if the board chose to accept the disclosure statement today,
Yeah.
it could. It will not get filed until final action, if any, is taken.
I move to accept
Yeah.
the conflict of interest disclosure statement for Chow and direct that the library's attorney hold it until further instructions from this board.
I second that.
All right, any discussion, any other comments? Yeah, all in favor, say aye. Thank you, Cheryl.
And for the record, I did not vote on that
Yes, you
action.
did not vote.
You abstained.
I abstained from a vote.
Thank you, Cheryl, for all that. And then so we'll come back to it next month.
Well, I think at this point, I think too, the question with the old business, I mean, you could table the discussion on the standard development. You certainly could discuss it if you chose to do it right now and if you want to discuss it. But you cannot take final action.
I move to table the
Yes.
discussion on standard development and that it not be placed on the agenda until there's some new additional information that compels us to put it on the agenda.
Second that.
Okay, so we got a first and second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And Shaw's abstaining. Thank you. Great, thank you. New business, we have a couple of new business items on here, the annual review of the non-resident fee. And then the amendment to bylaws of the nominating committee. We take those one at a time. This is our annual review of our non-resident fee, is that correct, Bob?
That's correct, and this is pretty standard. We have to do this every year.
Move approval.
Okay, first,
Second.
second Casey, all in favor, say aye. Non-resident fee action passes. We have the amendment to the bylaws and nominating committee, and thank you, Ann, for making that resolution, making that amended, cleaning up some of the language in that. And you emailed that to everybody.
Yes.
So everybody had a chance to look at that. Do we have
Move approval of the much improved.
much improved nominating committee?
Yeah.
Bylaws? Thank you, Ann. The second? Second, Casey. All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Okay. Motion carries. Thank you. I think that's all we have. Before, I just want to make a couple comments. This is my last board meeting after, I don't know how many years on the board. But it's been just a privilege working with everybody. It starts with our wonderful staff and our employees. It's just been wonderful having you guys there and watching this library just grow over the last 15 years. And then hiring Bob was a great accomplishment. I think that was one of our big things we did.
You were the board president when I was hired.
Yes.
So I was talking to you about moving here
Yep.
10 years ago.
Yep. And when Bob was, we were hiring Bob, we're like, we got to how do we get Bob here from Johnson City, Tennessee? And so that was our big concern, but I guess you liked it and Donna liked it too. I love Carmel, so it's great having you. It's helped. And the renovation, the West Branch, and then EJ, Beth coming on board. Awesome things that happened. So this library is a great shape. And then and all the board members I've had the privilege of working with. It's been a great ride. So this is it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Yeah. But.
Oh.